All right, here we are for the second round. Let's see if we can make something happen with this deck. I mean, our round one opponent's deck didn't do a whole lot, and we'll see if we can pull out a victory. Even though I don't know, we have some of the tools. We've got some powerful cards like the Lingering Souls, but in a lot of ways we don't. We kind of have a pretty base creature deck. It'll punish decks that are trying to do cute things, but I think it'd lose to a fairly solid deck, but we'll find out. This does not look like a keep, but it might be. Turn 3 Midnight Guard on the play is not that impressive, but we can cast a ton of our 2-drops, so I think we are going to go ahead and keep this. We do need to hit Swamp at some point to be able to cast some of our stuff, but we've got a lot of Swamps in the deck, so it should be okay. That is a non-swamp. See if our opponent has a 2-drop. Ugh. Well, we're going to take a hit from that, and then we're going to be able to trade it off with the Midnight Guard pretty reliably here. We've got a Markov Patrician that can also trade for it if we hit the right mana. We can draw like a Rebuke or something. That's annoying, but not a huge deal. Get Midnight Guard down here. And unfortunately, we are just going to have to snap trade it off with the Blood Crazed Neonate. I'd much rather wait one more turn so that we can try to flip a sentry and turn the tides on him, but we don't have a choice here. If we let that thing get out of hand, then we can lose just to the Neonate. All right, well, things have not gone according to plan. We have drawn a couple of black cards and some plains here, so Swamp would do nicely. Oh, I'm going to trade off if he's going to let me. Sure. Sweet. Getting that Ashmouth Hound off the table is really good for our longer game plan, because it means that our Markov Patrician and Typhoid Rats actually do something. That is, assuming that we draw a Swamp. He's going to equip up. Yep, that's a bummer. We're going to need a Swamp here. Or we could just keep drawing black cards, I suppose. So we're going to take 5. He's going to go to 25, and we're going to get into the danger zone pretty quickly here. Yep. Well, this gives us the option to double block, but sure is risky. Warlord? Into the Maw. Sets us back a land drop, which isn't that important. Much more important, of course, is the color of our land. And that's the right color right there. So what are we playing? Well, I think I'm just going to play a Rats. I'd much rather... No, I'm going to play a Patrician here, I think. I'm leaving back my Cathar in case he has Geist Flame, because we lose to it. He's got Burden. All right. And we still... I think I can just chump here, though, to not lose to random burn spell. I mean, we're gonna lose to that anyway, but we'll see what we draw here. Because Typhoid Rats is going to take care of that thing anyway. And we could draw Urgent Exorcism and hit him. Potentially. Alright. So let's attack. He's not going to let us. Okay. So rats. Yeah. Rats or rats Falconwrath Noble? I think rats Falconwrath Noble. Because this way he has to show us Geist Flame ahead of time. And if he doesn't have it, then he doesn't get to attack. Snap rigs us. I'm okay with that part. I mean, not happy, but key here is if our rats actually get to do something. So he has the lunge, I guess, because he wouldn't make this trade. Or I guess I'm just wrong. Sweet, he just wanted to make that trade. That's great. Let's see if he lets us attack. No, sometimes, because he might have been tempted to just let us attack and just eat the thing. But I guess he wasn't. Okay, so let's see if we can dig our way out of this. We've got these cards that we can Ghoul Callers. We can just play a Rats and a Mob. Because I kind of want to Ghoul Callers, I guess, for the Silver Chase Fox. And then I can get rid of this Burden of Guilt. That seems pretty good to me. It's a little risky. If he finds a way to just kill our Fox and we're just dead, because he equips up and hits us for 7. But if he doesn't, then we're in a pretty sweet spot, because then we've got the Markov Patrician unlocked and it's a 4/2. And that's pretty good. Maybe I can just do that play next turn, though. Yeah, I think for now I'm just going to go with the Rats and the Unruly Mob. Yes. And he does nothing. Ooh, that's a good rip. That will change the plan a little bit. Let's see if he wants to let us attack. Nope, still not buying that. And I don't think I actually need to attack either. I was going to attack with the Typhoid Rats, but I don't think I actually need to. And yeah, you know what? I think I'm just going to Ghoul Caller's chant here for Silver Chase Fox, or maybe just the Noble. No, I think the Fox is better, right? Because I'm going to keep this thing tapped down, and I'm going to start hitting him for 4 and swing this race back. So let's get the Fox. And let's play him. Plus the Fox is going to grow our mob a little bit. It does some stuff. He has no attack. We get a free tap out of the deal here. That seems good. Let's do that. Tap this. Yes. And we're not going to get this attack in. So I will attack here. And I guess I'll keep this back to block. If he kills our Death Touch Rats, then that means I'm going to have to block here or here, and we're going to lose this anyway. The 2 damage isn't really that relevant. I'd like to hit a couple of mana so that I can sack this and then do this at the same time to kill something, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So yeah, our Rats are doing some work here. Doesn't want to make that trade. We really got to swing this thing back, though, before he starts drawing a bunch of stuff. He's a little flooded here. He's got 3 cards in hand. I don't know what those could be here, but there's something. You may attack. All right, so he's put another burden of guilt on that. So that plan is not happening. So what we're going to do instead is we're just going to start beating him down. Ooh. We can get him pretty good here, actually. Do both? That's kind of fun. 2 for 2. Right now we've secured a 2 for 1 here, though. So let's get in here, here, and here. This way we protect against him. Oh, he's going to let us attack. Sweet. Yes. So he might have misclicked. I'm not really sure. But, I mean, he certainly shouldn't. He was at 30-something life. I don't think he needed to scoop there, but we'll take it. Sometimes people just get frustrated. So burden of guilts are in. Yeah, I mean, I think we're okay here. I like the urgent exorcism if that's going to be the case. Getting that cushion on life was a big one for us, though, because it allowed me. I mean, the fact that he's at 38 life, it's like we have to start chipping away, but I don't want to risk the game on that when really getting in that damage at that point isn't what's going to win us the game. We need to get that board completely stabilized. And what I wanted to do is start gaining life from that patrician. You know, hit it once or twice, and now all of a sudden we have a nice big cushion, and I can freely use my tapper. I can start attacking with things like the rats and get in there a little bit. But for me, when I have that board state where he's at 38 life or whatever, I'm much more concerned with like what's actually going on the board itself than I am with getting in that 1 extra damage. I mean, that can come back and bite you a little bit, but the risk reward seems pretty far off. Like just outright losing the game sucks. All right, so we kept our hand. We've got a Silver Chase Fox. It does stuff. And we're going to just play it out here. And we're going to instantly trade it off, because once you have an Unburial Rites in your hand, I think that you should be looking to grind away your opponent. And one of the ways you can do that is by trading your creatures when they offer. And he doesn't have a choice but to offer this one, but we'll take it. Ooh, Pyreheart Wolf. I wonder if he should have waited, like cast this and then cast the Neonate, because that makes my life very difficult. We have nothing here. And speaking of making my life difficult, that Pyreheart Wolf just does in general. Especially with the hand that we're looking at here. We're going to go Thraben Sentry into Unburial Rites currently, and that's pretty unimpressive. Thankfully, he's only hitting us for a damage right now, but if he puts out something with a bunch of power... Alright, he didn't. So that's nice. Alright, so we can't block. Well, that's definitely something. It's also a griffin and not a spirit, which is a little bit annoying. Yeah. We'll put a Niblis down and get him for 2. And then, yeah, and then I guess we're just going to double block the Pyreheart Wolf. And then if he doesn't have a trick or anything, we get to flip our Sentry, which would be nice against this. So this is going to come down to him having like a combat trick or a removal spell here quite a bit of the time. But we can't continue to take 4 with no real other game plan here, so we just have to suck it up and see what happens. He could also choose just to not kill something, but like he can put 1 damage on the Thraben Sentry and just that means that our guy doesn't die, but we also don't get to flip. All right, he seems to have spent 2 mana, but I don't know what for yet. Did I miss something? Okay, he did what we just mentioned. Okay, he's gonna Harvest Pyre our guy. Yep, that happens. Well, we get to keep our Niblis, I guess, which is not the worst. Oh, Typhoid Rats, that's a good one. So we get to do both. Grind, grind. And is our Niblis blocking here? Yeah, actually it is. So we're going to block with the Niblis and the Rats on the Pyreheart Wolf if he attacks. And he decides not to. We'll run out the Unruly Mob, and we're just going to pass the turn back. I think, yeah. So now we need like a tapper. Yeah, this could take a while. This thing's going to be tough for us to get through with given our removal, or lack thereof. If we can get this guy flipped over, that would be fine. Is there anything that we don't mind just suiciding in? I guess this. Or even an Unruly Mob. If we suicide this in, then we flip this and we get a counter on the mob, which isn't too bad. Plus we get to rebuy whatever. Yeah, I think that's a worthy goal. Oh, there's a Markov Patrician as well. Yeah, so let's ship this guy in and start getting some damage, because I think he's just not going to block. Yeah. But we are going to play a Markov Patrician, which will force him to block. He's got 4 cards in hand. I'm not sure what he could have. Man, I hope he doesn't have like Rolling Tumbler or something. That would be a little awk. But his current board state is kind of forcing us to overextend a little bit here. Geist Flame. Sure. He's just going to 1-for-1 with the Thraben guy. Okay, we get a counter. You got it. He's going to attack us. It's kind of weird. Guess he has a rebuke. Not sure. All right, but we are just going to Unbury Rights our Thraben Sentry. Whoa. What is this? What shenanigans are afoot? He has a red mana in his mana pool. He's got another Geist Flame. Well, 2 Geist Flames is going to completely wreck us. Although, thankfully, he couldn't do the other one in time here. Yeah, these guys are just attacking because he can just kill them anyway. So we'll get our 3 damage in. And I will play a land, and I'll say go. If he keeps attacking with a Silver Claw, then we get to start beating him down. So that's kind of good. Maybe he'll even play like a Spirit that we can blow up with this, or maybe he'll try to lock down one of our guys. Ashmouth Hound. Ugh. That is not what we wanted. And, yeah, that is lame. So, yeah, I guess I do send in the mob here, though. If he wants to trade it for the Ashmouth Hound, that's okay. He does not. Attack with everything? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wonder if he just attacks with everything there. I guess we hit for 2, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess we're representing stuff too. Midnight Guard. And it gets worse. Alright, so we're dead here. That helps. Does it really? Does it really? We can't block this if he attacks with everything. We can only block 2 things, so we block here and here. And we take 3, 5, we go to 1, and then he kills us. So that's not going to work. So I guess we chant back the fox and play it. And attack here. That thing can't block anyway, if he doesn't want it to. Yeah, this is a bad spot. Yep, we're just dead now. He just taps that thing down. We can only block 1 thing, and we take 6. Actually, you take 7, but... Alright. So we don't have enough removal, but we knew this going in. Yeah, I still think our deck's fine. We'll just give it a shot. If we can maybe draw a few more of our 2-drops early, I think maybe we can get out to a quick start on him. That was a little too grindy, and he's got some really good cards versus us. He really does. We just don't have any room. Like, we're not really flexible in that way. I guess we can move into green, play the Orchard Spirit. But man, we're giving up some decent stuff up here. Let's see if he gives us enough time to mess around here. Because these are much more resilient spells. No, he didn't. I think I might have actually done that though, but we'll see. All right, so Typhoid Rats, we just run out there. Sad as it is. I guess I don't hate it if he just insta-Geist Flames our rats. I don't love it. Won't lie. Well, we can just buy him back now. Alright, he's just going to take it. I wish we had a 2-drop. Like a Cloistered Youth would be pretty sweet. Whoops. Right, he's got double red, but nothing else. That's a little bit strange. Let's get in there. I'm definitely going to play with the Midnight Guard here. The Nimbus of the Mist has evasion, but it's also very fragile, where the Midnight Guard's actually just not fragile at all. It's pretty tough. What do you got? Fireheart Wolf? Oh, Riot Devils. Pretty annoying. So I think that we just flip it, or just tap it, I mean, and just hit him. I mean, we're going to play that spell anyway, so might as well get some extra damage in. The Rebuke should be pretty decent in this matchup. Alright, so he has the Geist Flame, which is really bad for us. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's pretty bad. Oh, I want him to attack. Oh, wow. That's great. We are winning this race. Get a Swamp. Ooh, into Moan. That's great, too. Jeez. And he can't really Harvest Pyre away anything here because he doesn't want to sack his Geist Flame. And I was just going to Ghoul Caller's chant for the Nimbus of the Mist, but we found a much better play here. If we can hit a land, we're just going to run in our guys and then Banshee away his. And we did, so let's do that. Banshee McBashersons. He's obviously screwed on colors here, which is happy. What? Oh, he's going to Brimstone Volley. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that'll slow the bleeding at least, but we are going to drop a very solid threat here. Get rid of this. And hopefully he won't draw any more white mana, or any of his white mana. That would be one of the ways that we can just finish him off really quickly here. Oh, he did. So he gets something. This is going to be a Burden of Guilt. Yep. And we'll take anything. We'll take lands. Yeah, lands are good. This is actually just fine too. The Burden is going to lock up one of his mana for, well, really for the rest of. Oh no, okay. So now he's going to do 2 damage to the zombie with a Harvest Pyre. So he's doing everything he can to survive. We got to give him credit there, but we are going to keep on bashing here, and we're going to buy something back. And let's see what we get. Oops. So we can get a Niblis of the Mist or a Midnight Guard. We need 1 more mana to flashback Moan. Niblis has flying, but he's got a Geist Flame in the yard. He can deal with it, so we just have to take the Midnight Guard. And play it. Okay. Five mana. What do you got? Hopefully not Pitchburn Devils. Scourge, also very good. Thankfully we can attack into it with our rats. Ooh, that's good too. So if we attack with everything, he takes 3. Yeah, that's just not good enough. We can only really attack with the rats here. But Silver Chase Fox is actually not that great here. I thought it was going to be better. I think just a land would have been fine. Okay, so he's just going to double Burden of Guilt this. So this thing's never going to be free again, turns out. And he's got a First Striker down as well, so we're going to need something. Whoop. Cloistered Youth. That, 1, 2, 3. We can make him Geist Flame that. Kind of just wanted to hit a land. We don't really have any attacks here. He's going to tap down the Banshee. So if we attack with everything, then he eats the rats, he eats this, and he takes 2, and we didn't really get anywhere with that. Yeah, I think we're just going to need to go with the Cloistered Youth here. If he wants to use up his turn removing it, then so be it. And then hopefully we'll hit a land, and we'll be able to flash back and then just try to bash him all at once. Like, because if he uses up this whole turn to kill the Youth, which he's kind of compelled to do, he's got to keep 1 mana up for the Banshee too. Yep, that works. All right, you don't get to wrath my board. There you go. Attack? No? All right. Some of the flying would be good too. And he's going to tap this guy down. Okay, so let's just flash back. And say go. And now we've got ourselves in a position where we can win. Unless he plays Silverclaw Griffin or something. Loyal Cathar. Well, that's going to do something too. And we're flooding a little here, which we kind of wanted before, but now we don't. Okay, so if I attack with everything, he eats my Typhoid Rats here. He eats my Midnight Guard. He trades for my Silver Chase Fox, and he takes 4. That puts him to 3, and then the next turn, assuming that I can do it all over again, which I can't, and then that doesn't work. All right, so we're just on the holding pattern here, it looks like. I mean, he can tap it, but I wonder if it's even worth it. All right, he gets to flip his guy. Don't think he's in a position to be attacking anytime soon, though, so that probably won't end up mattering that much. Ashmouth Hound. All right, so he's drawn a lot of gas after he got out of his mana issues, and we're going to need something to kind of punch us through here, really. Not really sure exactly. I guess, a Falconwrath Noble? Now that would be sweet. Gimme. That is not a Falconwrath Noble. Yeah, that might be our game plan here. Yep. If we get Falconwrath Noble, then we can just bash everything in there. If he has like a Brimstone Volley, we're kind of screwed, but I don't have a lot of reach in this deck. Tapper would be good. Rage Thrower? Sure. He can't really enter combat with us. Like, we'll take a bunch of damage, but we can just take a bunch of damage. Alright, there's a Patrician. Does that do anything here? I don't know that it does. It doesn't really change the board much. He certainly isn't in a position to be able to actually attack us, so I'm just not even going to bother. Just going to say go. We've got the Rebuke in case something really nasty happens. We're either going to look to use it on this or this, depending on what happens. We're at a pretty comfortable life total right now. Rack with Madness, a zombie token. Okay. Why would he do that? What do you got? Oh, you're going to attack? Oh, I like this idea. Oh, just with the Ashmouth Hound? Yeah, that's fine. I like that attack. There's a card. Niblis of the Mist. Does this do anything right here? I think it does. Yeah. Let's play it. And we're going to tap down this. And this is going to let us attack. So he's going to, so if he taps that, so let's make him tap our guy, since sometimes people forget. All right, he's not going to forget this time. So if we attack with everything, what happens? He blocks, this eats this, this trades with this. He takes 2, he probably just takes the 3. So I guess we don't quite have that attack. So I'm just going to attack here, I think. Getting him to 6 seems good because it makes a 3-turn clock here. He might just trade the Cathara, but if he does, he loses a blocker. All right, he does. We lose some life here. Go to 10. He gets that guy back, but then we get to Rebuke, and he might try to set up for one huge swing where he blasts in with everybody. And we're going to go Markov Patrician. This is going to flip Iron Fang back over. All right, so he did lose a blocker. He's going to get an attacker back on the deal, but he's going to lose a blocker, which is pretty important. Especially since we have a blocker for his. What could he have here? looks like he's got into the Maw, which is going to be actually just like a huge blowout right now because he's going to blow up one of our untapped lands, which is going to take away Rebuke from us. Yeah, that's really bad. That's like really, really bad for us, actually. Yeah, I think he's got us. All right, so what can we take here? What can we block? All right, so we have to block this. So if we block this, we go to 4. If we block this, we go to 2. Yeah, we're just dead. If we had this, then my plan was to rebuke the Rage Thrower, and then we can just win. But unfortunately, Into the Maw of Hell destroys a land, and that really blew it for us here. So let's just block here. We go to 4. Oops. Block here. We go to 2. Yeah? I don't know. But we're just dead. I don't know why he didn't bother swinging with his other guy either. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. Well, that's frustrating. I mean, I guess it happens, right? But like, I still like my plays. I like that last sequence where we flip back his guy and set up a board state where he couldn't really attack in very reliably. If we gain life there, then we're alive, right? So like, he basically has to have Into the Maw of Hell, and I mean, we've seen it, but I don't know. Do I play around it there? I mean, I don't think so. I certainly didn't. I didn't think so at the time. It's easy to look back and decide, oh, yeah, I should have played around it maybe, but I don't think so. Yeah, I have to think about it a little bit more, but Into the Maw, I don't think I'm that worried about. Like, do I just wait till I have one more mana to make those plays? Do I leave the rats back? I mean, I had my sound reasoning, like attacking with the rats got him to 6, and that meant that I could just hit him for 3 times with my Niblis of the Mist, and then he'd just be dead if he couldn't deal with it. I had Rebuke back up for in case he did the Kamikaze attack, and if he did that, then I was able to rebuke the Rage Thrower and crack back and just kill him, you know, because I kind of felt that tension that he was building up to the point where he was going to have to just attack with everything. Yeah, all right, well, that's a bummer. So let's wrap this thing up. First things first, if you'd like to send me an email, you can do so at limitedresourcespodcast@gmail.com. I've been getting a lot of great emails from you guys, and I appreciate all of them. Thank you for taking the time to send them in as we learn this game together. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, my name on there is Marshall_LR. It's a great place to talk to and meet Magic players, and I'm a big Twitter fan. I don't like Facebook that much, but I do like Twitter a lot, and I highly recommend it if you're into Magic. A lot of cool stuff going on there. You can check out my podcast over at mtgcast.com. That's called Limited Resources. It's kind of a companion. This is actually a companion to that show. I do that with my buddy John Laux, and that's the we go deep every week on some topic about getting better at Magic. We focus on Limited, but we cover other stuff as well. I might not have a video next week. I'm going to be in Barcelona for the Pro Tour. I'm doing the coverage there. If you want to tune in next weekend for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll be doing coverage all 3 days with Brian David Marshall, with Rich Hagan, with the whole coverage team over there. And Sheldon's going to be there, and Rashad and Zach will be there as well. So it should be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. And if you guys want to check that out, you can find it on Wizards' homepage, and you can watch the live video coverage of drafting Avacyn Restored at Pro Tour Avon Restored and Avison Restored over in Barcelona. All right, guys. Thanks as always for hanging out with me for a little while. And yeah, we'll see. Oh, one other thing. If you want to join the clan, just like that listener did in the middle, you can just send me a message here on Magic Online, and I will get you an invite. We are getting very close to the number one list here. We're second, and we're going to be first very soon. We're a couple of thousand packs away. So, all right, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.